experience monitoring answers the call. The dashboard's my compass, graphs light my way, tracing every failure, no error gets away.
The clock is always ticking, performance on the line. I solve the mystery every single time.
Shadows on the wire, glitches in disguise. Every spike's a story, every fault's a lie. From the edge to the core, I'll uncover it all. Digital experience monitoring answers the call. So if your world is broken and you're feeling the steam, call the DEM detective, I'll fix everything. Call the DEM detective, I'll fix everything. Call the DEM detective, I'll fix everything.
The name is Johns, Robin Johns. The beaches are about to get loose on the unsuspecting masses, causing returns on investments like you've never seen before. They call me a madman, but I know the dark underbelly of engineering. And believe me, a storm is coming. You better grab a notepad, because you're about to be schooled.
Digital experience is at the heart of what we do, so it's about time we monitored it.
Hello everybody, good morning. Sorry.
Sorry, had something caught in my throat. Hello everybody, my name's Robin Johns. I'm the Director of Enablement here at CATO Networks, and also, as you can see, the DEM Detective. If you don't know about CATO Networks, well, just look over here. We are the world's first SaaS company with the largest global private backbone out there. But we're always improving, we're always expanding. So today, I want to take you down a journey of digital experience monitoring. I indeed am the DEM Detective, and I am here to help you out. So I know we have 30 minutes. If you have any questions, please use the Teams chat to raise any questions, or you can email me again later. So I've got something open on another window to watch it. So let's get started. You might be wondering, first of all, what is DEM? And that's a very good question. To do that, let's come on over and actually let's give myself a little bit of colour. We can't all be grayscale. I wanted to do this all in a detective style, but hey, we can do something much longer in the future. And let's put on the subtitles because I am English and my Dutch is terrible. And I've been told by many that even if I learn Dutch, I will not successfully learn Dutch. So let's get started with CATO DEM. Now, you might be thinking that digital experience monitoring is just a version of network monitoring. Now, while network monitoring measures bandwidth usage, latency, and packet loss, it doesn't directly measure the end user experience, and this creates a big gap for businesses. Digital experience monitoring, or DEM, focuses on the user experience. CATO DEM assesses and optimizes the end user experience by tracking application performance from the user's perspective. Our customers tell us they are focused on their digital transformation initiatives, and most people are. Now, with digital transformation comes the need for end users to have a good experience with their applications, to do their jobs effectively, and feel engaged, not frustrated. Several scenarios can challenge user experience. The first is hybrid work. Businesses today have employees working both in office and remotely. These hybrid workers need to access various applications from various locations. However, they often encounter inconsistent performance and frustrating user experiences without clear explanations. The second problem is cloud migration. As more applications move to the cloud, IT needs greater visibility beyond the LAN. Users expect the same experience post-migration, which can be challenging for IT to deliver. And the third big challenge is help desk. IT help desks struggle to gain visibility and insights into user experience issues, especially after digital transformation. More applications mean more tickets, making it hard to find and retain skilled resources. Help desks need to be more efficient, reducing detective work with better information about user experience issues and their causes. These are the three big challenges all IT practitioners are facing across the industry. So, let's start with number one. Why does hybrid work and cloud migration affect the user experience? Well, both of these things can create fragmented network environments. Many small issues from device level to cloud deployment significantly impact digital experience. This leads to user frustration and increased support demands. DEM solutions address IT challenges with key attributes, such as continuous, near real-time insights into user-to-application experience, comprehensive visibility of the user-to-application path, preemptive indicators that allow IT to react before users notice issues, and the ability for IT to optimize the user experience. Now, each of these items allow CATO DEM to go beyond regular SASE. It's not about securing, connecting, and protecting. It's about visibility. And CATO's unique converged architecture makes this possible. So, you might be thinking, that's good, Robin. How do we help IT truly optimize the user experience? And I always start with visibility. CATO DEM enables exceptional visibility. IT teams often struggle to pinpoint issues impacting user experience. Is it the network? Is it the application? Is it the device? Well, nobody really knows. For a complete picture, our competitors, CATO competitors, need to work with ISPs to identify issues which can lead to blind spots and finger pointing if sensors aren't deployed. With CATO DEM, you get hop-by-hop visibility of all user and application traffic across CATO's private backbone, covering all directions without having to deploy any sensors whatsoever. The second is proactiveness. Traditionally, IT teams have been reactive, addressing issues only after users report them. This approach is inefficient and stressful. CATO DEM allows you to anticipate and address user experience issues proactively through continuous monitoring and analysis of network and application performance. And the third, of course, is IT team efficiency. Maintaining skilled resources to fix issues is challenging for many organizations, both for the organization and the engineers themselves having to keep up to date. CATO DEM uses the AI-powered engines to identify relationships between multiple events from different types of monitoring, presenting them as stories within CATO XDR. This helps even entry-level IT staff understand and address issues. They can prioritize, investigate, and remediate problems directly within the CATO management application without switching between products. While CATO DEM enhances end-user experience, it also significantly improves both IT team efficiency and experience. CATO DEM works in the CATO SASE Cloud Platform. So there's no need to deploy another product, install additional agents, or go through complex integrations. You simply turn it on and it just works. When a user experiences a performance issue, the network is often blamed, but the cause might be the user's device. Device monitoring collects data on CPU, memory, and Wi-Fi performance to quickly identify or eliminate the device as the issue. The goal is to prevent user experience issues before they arise. Synthetic probe monitoring uses the CATO client to simulate traffic and identify potential issues. This helps avoid calls to IT. You have a complete view of the user experience, and this is provided by real user monitoring in CATO DEM. At the account level, CATO DEM provides a complete snapshot of the overall digital experience. It identifies user experience trends, aiding strategic decisions. Simplified visuals and metrics highlight performance issues, helping IT teams prioritize critical problems. For individual users, DEM offers a focused view of their experience, pinpointing specific issues they might face. This helps IT understand the unique challenges and needs of different users. With simplified data presentation, IT support can quickly diagnose and resolve issues, reducing troubleshooting time and leading to faster resolutions. DEM also tracks performance metrics over time, providing insight into how changes impact user experience. That's pretty fantastic. But we're just getting started. Because CATO DEM also tracks performance at each network hop. It starts with a device's CPU and memory usage to ensure it's not a limiting factor. It evaluates the device's Wi-Fi, measuring signal strength, so you know if it's a Wi-Fi problem. It evaluates the device's LAN gateway, measuring latency and packet loss to identify local network issues. At the socket, performance is evaluated for packet loss and response times in milliseconds, highlighting broader connectivity problems. And tunnel performance is monitored for packet loss and latency, providing insights into issues with virtual private networks or other intermediaries. Finally, it measures application performance to show how these factors impact user experience. This comprehensive monitoring enables you to pinpoint and resolve performance bottlenecks, ensuring a smoother and more reliable digital experience. And for each one of these, we show metrics over time. It's all about the metrics. With the CATO SASE platform, you will benefit from the convergence of XDR and DEM. Our SASE-based XDR includes DEM insights, giving you a broader view beyond just security. You'll get an overall DEM experience score and see a list of the top stories. You'll also see the top stories by site location, plus you can drill down into these stories to figure out the best actions to take. With CATO SASE XDR, you're getting a comprehensive view that includes both security and network performance. This helps you understand the full context of any issues, making it easier to prioritize and address them effectively. Now, a few minutes ago, I highlighted 3 challenges that organizations face, and I'll just quickly explain how we address them. The first was hybrid work experience. CATO DEM helps enhance the user experience for hybrid workers by providing IT with the necessary insights to ensure optimal performance regardless of where the user is connecting from. The next was the cloud migration experience. CATO DEM allows IT to simulate traffic using the CATO client, proactively evaluating and continuously monitoring the user's experience with cloud-based applications. And finally, there was the help desk experience. CATO DEM enables rapid issue resolution with deep contextual insights, leveraging our network stories for XDR. This enables IT staff to troubleshoot quickly and effectively within CMA. Now, for hybrid work, the people that would be most interested in that is the folks who are focused on business metrics. People who are interested in understanding what is the user's performance in the office versus outside of the office. Cloud migration is more focused at architects and budget holders. If you're going through a network transformation in which you're moving applications from a local environment to a cloud environment, you want to be able to measure the performance pre and post migration to see if that was worthwhile. And the help desk, this impacts all areas of the business. With CATO DEM, we are providing you the metrics so you can provide proactive IT support. You can see if your C-level executives are experiencing performance challenges, and you could reach out to those executives in advance of them having a problem to make them aware that things might not be performing as expected. Now, I know this is a lot of presentation, and so far, no questions in the chat, but if you have any questions, please open it in the chat. Let's hop on over to an actual version of the CATO management application. I've shown you lots of information here in a presentation format, but I know most folks want to see the tool in use. And for that, I'm going to move myself out of the way because this is more about the product than me. Welcome to the CATO Digital Experience Monitoring page. Here we can see the overall account experience. The average is good. And we can see over time, everything seems to be okay. This good performance is based around site, remote user, office user, hosts, and applications, and provides an aggregate average. But I'm going to change this from the last 2 days to last month. One of the benefits of the CATO DEM solution is that all of this information is part of your data cloud. So if you were to turn DEM on today, it doesn't start monitoring from when you turned digital experience monitoring on. Instead, it looks at the historic metrics we already have, so you can turn on DEM today and start troubleshooting a performance problem that you had 3 months ago. That's exciting. Okay, so now we are looking at this digital experience monitoring over the last month. We can see that factory US, sales US, factory JP are all looking positive. That's nice. We can look at the remote users, and with the remote users, we can see that these 3 users, one of which has had a fair performance and 2 have had good performance. We'll remember Virgil and come back to him later. If I was just interested in the applications themselves, I choose applications, and now we have a large list of applications which have been identified throughout the monitoring period. This uses CATO's application identification engine, so you do not need to define these applications yourself. I currently have this filtered by top experiences by poor. However, if you wanted to see the good experience, that's easy to filter as well, or you can use the search bar to search for a specific application. I can see CrowdStrike and Comcast are looking at good performance, and this is based around the average time to first byte being quite low, the usage being okay, and the download speed acceptable. In this issue, everything seems to be as expected. However, if you were to start filtering on the devices showing a applications with a poor performance, you can now see that Yoku.com has a time to first byte of 4 seconds and 498 milliseconds. And this is all pertaining to the media streams category. Let's go back to our remote users and let's look at Virgil. Imagine the situation. You are in IT and Virgil Dale has just opened a ticket with you saying his applications are running slowly. Now, usually, if you were in this situation, you would hear the applications are running slowly and you would start doing your trace routes. You would start doing your network identification. The average IT support individual does not have a great place to start to do troubleshooting to identify where a problem may lie. With CATO DEM, I would see that ticket raised by Virgil. I would come to Virgil over here and I would click on his name. I now have all of the metrics over the past month. I can see Virgil was last connected to Boston CATO point of presence. I can see the device name, his device operating system, his client versions, and his internet service provider. I can see that in the past, running on December the 24th, his average experience was good. We didn't see anything from him over the Christmas period. We saw something at the start of the year. And then as of the 19th of January, his experience was trending negatively to come into the fair category. Well, at this point, I just scroll down a little bit further and I look at this connection details. 12 applications have been identified and they have good. The last mile performance, that's the performance between the CATO SDP user and the CATO POP, was good. We weren't seeing any packet loss. We weren't seeing any problems. The LAN gateway performance was also good. no Wi-Fi metrics, so he was hardwired into the network, into the router. However, the device was showing an average memory load of 64% over the month. This seems a problem. By looking further down on the device hardware metrics, we can see his CPU performance over time was looking relatively low. However, his memory, his RAM, was averaging around the 60s. If you do not have this information straight to hand, if it's not easy to access, this will lead to a situation where you are effectively troubleshooting blind. If Virgil opened an IT ticket and he said all of the applications are running slow, you have to troubleshoot network and application and then device. What I have just uncovered in a few seconds could and would take several hours to do, wasting time, increasing frustrations, and making it very difficult to understand where the pains lie. With CATO DEM, in a few moments, I've been able to identify that, yep, the problem here is that his average CPU usage, or average memory load, is 65%. If your memory is always running high, all of your other applications will run poorly, and you'll generally have a bad time. If you want additional information, maybe we could click on this application performance. Maybe we were unsure whether or not the memory problem was the problem. Well, in that case, we can give you real user metrics, such as the time to first byte for all applications, HTTPS latency, TLS connection times, TCP connection times, HTTPS error rates, packet loss, as well as synthetic probes between your user device and the CATO cloud. The synthetic probes will allow you to show, the synthetic probes are synthetic traffic. It's fake traffic being generated from the CATO client up to the cloud, so we have a consistent base load of how much traffic is coming across. By having a consistent performance baseline, it allows CATO to understand more about what true performance is. And we can see here that to 10, 10, 1, 10, we're having an average distance of 300 milliseconds latency. Now, please bear in mind, this is a demo environment. This is not real customer data. I would not share customer data on a webinar. But if you would like to see some of these metrics for yourself, please reach out to your IPknowledge representative and they will be able to set you up with a trial and you can see all of the benefits very, very simply. Now, please bear in mind, what we're looking at here with Virgil is looking at all of the applications. We've identified that the problem here is likely with his device. However, if you wanted to drill down further, you could come to the applications page and add any of these applications to the filter. Say he said there was problems with Skype and Microsoft Teams. I could add that to the filter. And now we're looking at Virgil's data when he's remote and when they're using Skype and MS Teams. And you can see over time, experience has been good, and there was a little experience blob here. We can do that on a per user basis, or we can do that for an individual site, or for all applications. If I was to come back to the main experience monitoring page and click on applications, and I wanted to know about Skype, we'll just search for Skype down here. We can add that to our filter. And now I would just look at Skype and Microsoft Teams performance for all of my users and all of my sites over the last 2 days. If I click on the sites, I can see that our Japan factory has one unique user currently using Skype and MS Teams, and we can see the overall performance metrics, which is available here. And all of these tables are freely rearrangeable and deselectable. So if you only want to know about experience, well, you can choose that for yourself, which is good. If I wanted to know more about the site itself, let's clear all the filters and let's drill down into the Manhattan office. I click on Manhattan office. I now know that the Manhattan office is an IPsec connected site using Amazon Data Services, and the distance between this office and a CATO point of presence is 7 milliseconds. When we look at this site, we also get the digital experience monitoring connection details similar to what we saw for individual users. So you can see one site hosts, which is good, no problems with the router, the last mile is looking good, and we've seen 115 applications with an average experience of also good. this can allow you to quite quickly understand what is being accessed, the performance of being what's accessed, and the overall service impact in general, which is useful. Now we have a few questions that have appeared in the chat. So let me just run through them because I want to be a little bit interactive. Now you mentioned that the internet metrics are done by the socket. How does that work for remote workers with no socket? Great question. If you have the CATO client installed, and the CATO client, just to remind you folks, looks like this. If you have digital experience monitoring enabled on your account, then the digital experience monitoring code, the probes, will be automatically downloaded to this client. So when you click that plus button and connect yourself to the CATO cloud, digital experience monitoring will be running. If the CATO client is open, we will be gathering CPU and memory metrics, and once you connect to CATO, we will send that information back. If you have no socket, but you have an SDP client, you can be monitored. If you do not have an SDP client, then the socket will provide you additional metrics. However, I would recommend for all endpoints to have the client installed because this gives you a more complete view of everything happens. The CATO client, we're making it one utility to install, one agent. We want simplicity. Life is complex enough as it is, and we're trying to reduce the amount of things you have to manage, monitor, maintain, and patch. That's why we can auto-update the CATO client, and any new features that come, we want to make it as easy for you to turn on as possible. One of the questions is, how is this licensed per user per site? And this is actually licensed, as Dion mentioned in the chat, per knowledge user. A knowledge user would be somebody with an 036 license, for example, but we have more information about that in the CATO knowledge base. It's a relatively easy thing to get up and running. And Vlad mentioned, can we buy as many as we need? Say I want to monitor C-suite application experience. Can I only buy a license for them? You could buy a select amount of users if you require, but I would always recommend to do this for all of your knowledge users if possible. The reason for that is so you can start understanding not just what the C-level application is or experience is, but you can also start trending the capacity of your overall IT infrastructure over time. We use this internally at CATO to identify which laptops are due for a hardware refresh. We try and understand what is the impact of adding a new application, who is using those applications, and where are the problems. So one example, a few weeks ago, we migrated one of our applications to the cloud, and several of our developers said they were having problems with this new application. And we thought that it was originally due to Amazon's web services. After looking at the actual metrics, it turns out it wasn't due to AWS. It wasn't due to that migration whatsoever. It was due to us installing a new application to people's endpoint devices and actually seeing the overall CPU utilization of those devices go up. So people presumed it was due to the cloud migration, but actually it was due to a hardware problem, which is quite nice. I was also working with another customer about 3 weeks ago, looking at digital experience monitoring, and they believed that all of their problems were due to poor network infrastructure. The actual reason, after looking at DEM, was that the people complaining about network performance generally had bad Wi-Fi connections. And we could see through the CATO DEM page that their Wi-Fi was showing as red. Once we recommended for those people to connect with an Ethernet cable to the laptop instead of using Wi-Fi, mysteriously all of the problems went away. And that's one of the huge benefits of DEM. We can provide the visibility and insight to problems that people might not know they have. And we can also provide the IT teams, the support teams, the architects, and other with much more useful information. It's all about reducing cycles and making life better. And one of the last question here, is it fully GDPR compatible, or do we need to adjust the end user agreement? I believe it's still GDP compatible and no end user agreement needs to be mentioned. We're handling the data in the same way, we're just presenting it to you in a much easier, digestible format. Okay, so folks, thank you for your time. So everybody, thank you for that. We're coming up on the 30-minute mark. So thank you very much. I'll make myself grey again as I fade into the darkness. I appreciate your time. If you have any further questions about digital experience monitoring, what it can do, what it should do, or why you need it, please reach out to IPknowledge and they'll be able to help you very easily. If you would like to know anything more about anything CATO, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm Robin Johns. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you all. Bye for now.